Mm-hmm. My stream just immediately disconnected too. Because it rained today. Oh boy. Hopefully it doesn't do this to me again. Not been able to stream for a few days now. Because of this nonsense. What's the problem? What are we waiting for? Okay, Duo's not here. Okay. Can he stay connected? So glad I'm not playing this line. Ugh. Alright, so tonight we have, for the 24H tournament, two A-rank players and a C-rank. It's going to be the matchup tonight. For the red team, the 2A is going to be Mido and Weija. The C-rank player is going to be Yuri. On the blue team, we have Geiger and Blue, also known as Pikachu. Pretty sure this is Pikachu. They're going to be the two A-rank players, and then Duo is going to be the C-rank players. So for our blue team here in the top left, we have Geiger as Protoss. I did not pay attention to the races, so we're going to have to look at that next time. But it's 2 pick and 1 random. I imagine Weija is playing random. Yeah, he wouldn't pick Terran. And for the blue team, probably Geiger playing random. That's going to be my guess. But we'll keep an eye on it. So Geiger and Protoss. Pikachu, Protoss, that is both their main races, and Duo picking Zerg. It's actually interesting that both the C-rank players are actually Zerg players, and they're both going to be playing 9-pool supportive roles, so... It's actually... If you get C-rank players that can play 9-pool at like an acceptable level, then it's actually the stronger C-rank players you can hope to get on your team as an A-rank player, right? So... This is probably 2 of the strongest... well, this is definitely the 2 strongest team combinations for this rank, so... I think we're going to get pretty good level games here. But real quick on the red team, so we have Weija as Terran, Mido as Protoss, and Yuri as Zerg. And yeah, Mido, he pretty much only plays Protoss. I've never even seen him try another race, so I don't know how well he can do with anything else. And Yuri, the same thing. She always only plays Zerg, so... Yeah, they're definitely the 2 picking, but we already knew that because Weija definitely would not pick. Turn anyway, so we'll see. Keep an eye on what's going to happen here. The Protoss players, I imagine, are all going to go 2-gate, and that is what we were seeing. And then it's going to be the 2 racks, a CAD most likely for Weija. Sorry, I just ate, so my my throat's a little bit annoying, we'll say. Alright, so the Zerg players, they're going to be canceling each other out. And the Protoss players pretty much going to be doing the same. But technically, blue team is going to have some initial map control here because they do have that additional Protoss. So they're going to try possibly to get a Forge down. So we do see that, right? So Pikachu going to go for Forge, and his goal is to get cannons here at the choke to block in the Terran. Wage is going to be coming up to fight really early, which I think this is the correct play. It's a little bit dangerous because you got to be very careful that your Marines don't get jumped on by the Lings, because you're going to have you're going to be behind in the initial fight here. And I actually think they came out too far, and they're going to get punished for this. Ling's going to be running around a little bit and buying some time. One Marine does go down. The Marine's going to get the Ling's going to get a fight here on the bottom side, pick off the Zealot. In blue, going to be able to clean this up and push this back. We have the reinforcing Zealots going to bottom side, pick off the Zealot. In blue, going to be able to clean this up and push this back. We have the reinforcing Zealots going to be joining as well. Red's doing a decent job of fighting this off overall, but this is just the pain of having a Terran early game against no Terran. We even sent an additional probe in case the one died, which it did. Gonna try and start the cannon, but gotta be very careful. This is gonna get canceled right away, and actually no cancel, so that does hurt the money quite a bit to lose that full 150. But I don't think Wage is going to be able to stop this from coming up anymore. Got Lings out on the map a little bit here, trying to create a little bit of chaos and get some interception on the Zealots. But, I mean, the cannons haven't started yet, so if Wage gets a few rotations and we don't have that cannon up, he's actually going to have a pretty good bio count. And he actually went for the 3 racks instead of 2 racks of CAD, which, as you all know, I'm a huge fan of. So, I like that from Weija. Gonna pull a couple SCVs with his Marines here. I think this can be good. And he's gonna try to fight this off, but yeah, there's a lot of links coming up, and we don't have enough SCVs here for body blocking. So he's gonna trade out as best he can, but these Marines are gonna get cleaned up, and that's gonna reset his Marine count. But he's gonna get blocked anyway. Potentially, actually. He cleared a lot of the lings. We have a few Zealots here, but yeah, a bunch here coming in from blue as well, so yeah, these Zealots are gonna get cleaned up. These cannons are gonna come up, and Weijia is officially gonna be blocked. So, in my opinion, what Weijia should do next is, even though we're gonna finish that academy, especially when you see the 4th cannon coming down, so he's gonna continue adding cannons here. You don't really want to go buy into this, so I wouldn't start an upgrade here. He's going to, which I don't really agree with, because instead of starting STEM, he could have started a factory right away, right? Once you see more than 3 cannons coming down, it starts getting kind of iffy to try and bust it with bio. Yes, technically you can get out sooner if you're able to break it with bio, but if they make enough cannons, you're just going to be completely out of the game now. Whereas if you go tank, then you're guaranteed to get... You're going to preserve your army, right? And you'll just have a very strong early or mid-game army. Sorry. Looks like we have some lings going here to the top right. Doesn't look like they got really much damage done, but there's no gas here for that Protoss yet, at least. But he is the one going cannons. And Urslings are going to get cleaned up. And Duo is going to be up on that 3 hatch now. And yeah, I mean, blue team's just going to have map control now since Terran's blocked. So until he manages to break out and we see a 5th cannon coming down, and this is kind of what I mean, right? Where it's like, we're going to keep adding bio. And he even canceled his add-on. Not sure why. He's going to try and go pure bio. And if this fails, then he's just like he's out of the game now. Whereas, like, imagine, you know, you started a factory right away and you're going to have less bio, of course, at this moment, but you're just free. Like, you're going to break all of this for free, essentially. And have to try to fight your army. But it also requires your team to survive and hold on. Like I said, it does potentially put a shorter timer on your breakout if you are able to do it with bio. But here we go. We're going to go for it. But this is far too many cannons. We're going to get some forward pylons to try and block a little bit. 3 o'clock is dying, so all he has to do is make sure Weijia can't break out. So we're going to see Weijia go for this. It's going to fail, and then they're going to GG. Guaranteed. So here we go. We go for the bus. We're going to kill 1 cannon. And G is called. And unfortunately, my stream is going to be dropping sometimes. It's just... can't catch a break. It's been raining today. Bit unfortunate. It's like I have no lag, but then my Twitch stream drops. And only Twitch, YouTube doesn't even drop. Such a pain. Team Geiger gonna take a clean game 1. They did a good job abusing the race matchup. And here we go, quick check on the races. So Geiger got Terran this time, Weija got Protoss, so this time the roles are reversed. On the races, we'll see how blue team wants to play this out. So we've got a little bit of an interesting dynamic in this one already because blue team does have shared choke with a Protoss Zerg. So we'll see how they want to play it out. They have a couple options. You can do combined defense and then just go like Bermudas and tell Geiger, hey, stay alive. This is a pretty common way of playing this scenario, especially in these spawns, because your Terran is so far, you're never going to be able to really get to them and get them to be a part of the game. At least in the like early game. So we'll see if they want to go with that strategy or if they just want to try and play a normal game. But realistically, with these race matchups, they should be able to block Terran in like they did last game, of what the other team did. So, yep, we'll keep an eye on it, see what we're gonna do. So it's gonna be 9 pull here from Duo. You're, I imagine, gonna be the same. And they should be able to know that because Duo scouted 1 o'clock first, that there's somebody shared choke with him. So I expect that we're going to see the scout go to the 11 o'clock spawn, not the 12 o'clock spawn. You don't really need to check the Zerg. Yeah, see, there you go. So Mido paying attention or someone on his team paying attention. So they're going to go straight to 11 o'clock and see who we are sharing choke with. And going to quickly identify this is the Protoss player. Gonna come in here and see that it's 2-gate, no goons. And when you see no goons shared choke here, you can assume the other one is not Zerg. Actually, maybe that's not true. They would still go 2-gate even with 2 Zerg. I wouldn't like it personally, but they are against a Zerg, so they could do that anyway. And it looks like Geiger is going to go for the... Actually, no. Never mind. Thought he was going to go for the factory wall, but I don't think he is. Because the barracks would need to be down here if he was. So here we go. Ling's coming out on the map. But it is going to be mech from Geiger, so that is something obviously different from the previous game with Weija. Weija does like to go like mass Marines only. First Zealot gonna poke in here, and you're getting protected by the Zealot here. We see the pylon coming down, so this is gonna be the forge is maybe a little bit late, but that's okay. Zealot gonna get in here, and actually going to not kill a drone, surprisingly. Got bugged out a little bit, unfortunately, for I think that was Mido. Got drilled on and didn't get that last swipe off. So yeah, we're gonna get those cannons up. So it is gonna be that defensive shared choke, but Duo's not going mutas actually, whereas Yura's going 1 hatch layer. And it's gonna be mech and not muta rush from Duo, so this worries me a little bit for the blue team. I'm not really sure what their answer is gonna be. They're just gonna be behind in pretty much every metric. So we're going to see how they want to try and play it out from this. I would have thought if they were going to do this, then Duo would be going for eco mutas, right? Eco mutas, right? Yeah, I don't really like this play personally. Anyway, now you're stuck in a defensive position with less units where you can't come out, and your tech is going to be slower. Did my stream drop again? Yes, it did. I just can't catch a break. Can't stream. I don't know if it's lagging on YouTube as well. I don't know, my Twitch stream keeps dropping. The YouTube stream might be hiccuping, but it's not dropping at least. This is the curse of living in Alabama, in the middle of nowhere. Just the tiniest bit of rain and the internet doesn't work. It's crazy. But it's like such a weird lag because it's only Twitch. Like, only my stream lags. Nothing else. Anyway. So Ling's gonna get in here too. I'm gonna try and deal a little bit of damage. She has a lot more Lings though, so these Lings gonna get cleaned up. Not even gonna get a single drone kill, it looks like. And the Spire gonna be finishing up. So we have to go Spores while playing defensive on the map as well. So we have 0 map presence as the blue team. We did go for Wraith Rush, but it's not gonna work because Spire's gonna be finishing. We're just gonna be able to kill basically one Overlord. And I wasn't watching Resources, so I don't know if she made a pair of Scourge. I believe that we did, actually. I think that third egg was Scourge. And Geiger needs to start some Spores, or turrets, potentially. Okay, yeah, so there's the Scourge coming out. And the Wraith actually stops, so free Wraith goes down. Free-ish. Sorry, trying to get my stream stuff. I think I just can't stream on Twitch. Let me link my YouTube at least. Alright, sorry. So it looks like red team gonna be breaking the choke here. And they are gonna get through all these cannons. Bit of a drone drill coming through, even a probe drill, just whatever they can to try and survive. But there's too much red left over. And looks like blue team is dead. Geiger gonna go ahead and GG. And red team gonna tie the series up 1-1. I don't know if I should even keep trying to stream it. It just keeps dropping. I mean, I don't know. I can't really do anything about it when this happens. But it's so frustrating because, like, I can go play games, right? Like, online or watch videos or something, and there's zero issues whatsoever. It's literally only my stream suffers from rain. I don't get it. And there it goes again. Yeah, it is. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out what to do about my stream stuff. Is it lagging on YouTube also, or is it only on Twitch? Okay. YouTube seems fine. Okay, that's good at least. I don't know why it's only Twitch. Only Twitch suffers from it. It's makes no sense. Alright, so quick look at the races here. We have Weija rolling Protoss again, and Geiger rolling Zerg. So we're going to get 2 Zerg, Protoss, versus 2 Protoss and Zerg. You haven't noticed any lag? Yeah, it's good. I mean, at least YouTube's working. It's kind of annoying because Twitch keeps dropping and then giving notifications over and over on Discord, but I have it mostly... I had to turn it off on Discord. And I'm gonna have like 30 VODs or something on Twitch to delete or something from all the dropping, or whatever. It's fine. Alright, well, this is unfortunate spawns for blue team because they have the double Zerg, so this would be a good tech game for Pikachu, but he's in a corner by himself in the middle of nowhere, so... and shared choke with Protoss at that. So he's not actually going to be able to, so we're going to see what they want to do. It looks like we're staying on gas here as duos, so he's probably going to go straight into lair. I suspect that's what we're going to see. And they're going to have a little bit of early game map control, but it's not going to be for very long. There's the lair coming down. Going to have a Zealot move out here for Pikachu. But this is... okay, this is Weija here at 6 o'clock. Pretty good defensive setup, 2 Zealots on either side of the mineral line with the probe, so Zealot not going to be able to find too much damage here. Looks like it's maybe going to go back home. Going to try and just be annoying a little bit, but I think Weija's micro is good enough that he shouldn't really take any damage from this. So blue going to be on a little bit of a kind of a timer because the Zealots, once the Zealot count gets high enough for red, they can take a really good fight. Here does have to make that extra sunken because she's against double Zerg, so that's going to slow her down quite a bit. And Pikachu actually going to try and get cannons up here at the choke. I kind of like this play. Thing's going to jump in here on top of these Zealots immediately. Going to clean up at least 2 of them. Not quite 2 of them. Going to kill the probe, but the cannons do get started. But while this was happening, the other 2 players came out and pushed the Lings back. So they might be able to break this before these cannons come up. Looks like Geiger did go pretty much all the way back home, but he's going to try and get in here for a flank. And here we go. Fight's going to break out before these cannons get finished. Well, they are buying a little bit of time, actually, so one of these cannons are going to finish up, so that's pretty nice for the blue team here. Oh, and we have a Zealot that snuck in behind here, and we just didn't notice. 3 probes going to go down. Maybe even a 4th as well. This is actually a lot of eco damage this early in the game. Very, very sneaky Zealot. I think that was the Zealot from the very beginning, actually ran around, maybe tucked here in the corner and came back in. So that's a lot of damage on Equation. We see him down to 33 supply now compared to the 42 of Pikachu, who's even making all these cannons, right? And here we go. With just 2 of the cannons finished, he's going to try and move out. 3rd cannon going to be finishing relatively soon. Weija does have enough Zealots, though, that he's actually just going to jump on top of this and be able to take these cannons out. So Ling's going to come back and try to support this, but going to stop 2 of these cannons, possibly be able to kill the 3rd. But now the Lings get here in time. Going to get a full surround of these Zealots, so really good play here from the Zergs. Cleaning up these Zealots, and now the Forge comes down for Weija. He was mining gas, but he finished the geyser, but he's not going to be mining gas yet because he's worried about dying now. We're going to see a bit of a counterattack here from the red team. Maybe try and get a kill on the Zergs. We do have Mutas building right now for duo. And Weija going to be losing a couple gateways here. Still going to be in a lot of trouble. He does not have a sunken up like Geiger does. It's a decent number of Zealots, but we have a lot of Zealots coming in from Pikachu as well to save him. So Geiger's not gonna, or Duo's not gonna die. It might take some eco damage. I mean, his drone count's gonna be very, very low, but we are gonna have to get spores here for Ur as a tax for this fire. And losing any drones here is pretty painful. We're gonna be down to 4 drones now. Even the Lings for Geiger AFK. Geiger not really renowned for his Zerg gameplay necessarily, but his Protoss is very, very strong. Those were some Bebe units where they get close to the fight and they like to watch what's happening. On the other side of the map, Weija didn't die. Pikachu actually going to drop a Nexus in this game state. I like it. It's something I would do. And Weija Duo gonna survive with just 4 drones left over, so he might just make a handful of Mutas. I kind of like the idea of making a few Mutas and then going back into drones, but he does have these Corsair to worry about. And yeah, he actually makes some Scourge for that. I like that. That is 100% the correct thing to do. Geiger gonna start droning some himself. They're gonna try and attack Yuri here, and she's pretty much on her own. I mean, there's 2 Stargates here for Mido, and basically nothing else to save her. So she's going to try to hold on by herself. She has 3 Sunkens and basically nothing else. No Lings and a little bit of a drone drill is all she's got going for her. So with no help coming in, it does look like she's going to die. And Ur goes down. Weija pretty far from ever breaking out of this. I mean, the Corsair can get a lot of value against double Zerg. And losing your Zerg teammate... sorry, I'm tired. Losing your Zerg teammate doesn't necessarily mean you would have lost the game, but because Weija took a lot of damage earlier, and he's like in this really defensive position where he's like making cannons in his mineral line, right? And he's got 1 gateway, and yeah, he's not really going to be strong enough to contribute to this game. Ugh. Not quite gonna find that Overlord. It did get pinged, so I thought I might have seen it because you get a little bit extra vision actually when you're looking to the right here. You see a little bit further, so he did actually see the Overlord because somebody pinged it for him, but he didn't notice. And I imagine Weija is trying to go into Reaver so they can play Reaver Corsair together. Which... it's a fun idea. I just don't think it's going to work. I think he's too weak for it to work. I think it could work if he hadn't taken damage. Actually, Mido going his own Reavers. Looks like we're going for a little bit of a 4 zealot drop here. Just to try and get some sort of damage done. But the meat is very quick to sniff this out. Gonna kill only a single probe and cannon for his troubles. In the meantime, he's getting attacked. He does have a lot of cannons here to try and survive. I imagine we have a Reaver that's on the way. Some Corsair are going to fly over here and kind of watch him die a little bit because they can't actually contribute. Gonna drop his own Reaver. 2 Reavers, in fact. So this will keep Weijia alive. I mean, Duo really needs to make some drones. We got 3 drones on minerals, and they're mining not the best patches. Scourge and Mita's going to try and dive on top of this shuttle to get those Corsair, but the greed not paying off. Going to lose a few of the Mita for free. Dragoon's going to push back in. Shuttle getting a little bit low. Drops 1 Reaver. Did we lose a Reaver at some point? Oh, well. Maybe. Shuttle and Reaver goes down. Oh, no, sorry. Okay, that was a separate Shuttle and Reavers. Okay. In the meantime, we had this counterattack going on. But with all these Scourge coming in, actually not going to be enough. 2 Scourge, 2 Reavers left over. But the problem is, how much damage is Weijia going to take on the other side of it? And we're also just denying mining here, whereas he still has this expansion, so the damage really isn't that bad for him. Those Scarab's going to dud. And we're going to try and get behind the mineral line, which, not great for Reavers to do, because it actually makes our Scarabs work worse. You can put the Scarab all the way up against the mineral line. Like, if you push its face like all the way up against it, it'll actually spawn the Scarab on the other side so it can shoot through mineral lines, but not going to be able to use that here. Does get his own Reaver out, is going to push this back, but I mean, you see it in the supply. Weijia down to just 41 supply right now. Pikachu at 70, right, with the expansion. And I think he's just growing too much. Geiger on the other side of things also starting to get his own Hydras out. Has a pretty decent drone count, 3-hatch Hydra. Duo finally droning again, that's good to see. You know, fun idea with the Reavers and Corsair, but I think they were just too far behind. They're holding on, but it only gets worse. Fido has a pretty good supply, but it's hard for him to get out, right? Like, this is a full wall. We have 7 cannons, a few zealots here. He might just try and break out the front. I mean, he has, like, a really high supply, right? Just the position kind of sucks. Nice Hydra split, actually. Not quite going to kill the Reaver, but it was a good effort. Gonna soften him up enough that Pikachu can probably deal the killing blow now. Here we go, Mito gonna go for the bust while this is happening. Only sent 12 units so far. Not sure why. Okay, we're using a Reaver. Okay, that makes more sense. So he just wants to focus on trying to break out the Reaver, but he doing this a little bit too late. Weijia is dead on the other side. And Mino gonna break through, but I mean, like I said, his supply is good, his army composition is good, but it's a 1 versus 3 now, so I can't imagine that it's ever gonna be enough. And he's just gonna go for it against the Zergs. But there's so many goons from Pikachu. No Storms, no Reavers, no Splash for all these range units, right? So even though it's a pretty scary army from Mido, he's not gonna be able to get enough damage done. I'm gonna turn back around and fight this army, but it's gonna get cleaned up. I mean, he's gonna trade pretty well. Like I said, his army composition's actually pretty good. The choke working against him a little bit more than a wide open space would. So I respect the effort. But this army is gonna get cleaned up. We're gonna see that GG very soon. We're gonna get that 2-1 lead for the blue team. My teammates, the people I am rooting for. This is a biased cast overall. G is called. And blue team. Team Geiger. Team Pikachu. Team Duo, whatever you want to call them. Gonna take the 2-1 lead to start. Nice video game. Does look like my Twitch stream stopped dropping, at least. That's good. Alright, looks like Weija got Karen this time, and Geiger got Zerg. So, this is once again blue team favored. At least for the early game. Positions, pretty blue favored as well, actually. And Pikachu, I imagine, he's been showing that he really likes to build cannons to block people in, so we might see some more of that to block in the Zerg. We see pings here for the choke. They might already be making plans. Plans to cannon. I think he was telling Zerg to send the Overlord to his choke, but not entirely sure. You got pings going everywhere. I think he's telling him to send his overlord to bottom left so they can watch the layer timing. Gonna be 2 gate from both Protoss players, unsurprising. And the thing is, Weija might not be getting blocked this game, so he's got a little bit of a chance to have more of a presence than he did with his previous Terran game. And bit of a mistake there from you're not paying attention at all. Gonna lose 2 lings for free. 3rd ling goes down. And these 3 lings very, very low. Oh, that was odd. It's like she wasn't looking at all. And losing those lings and having to make the sunken, she's pretty much out of the game now. And yeah, we are gonna get that pylon cross map to block Weija, so unfortunately for him, gonna be getting the Terran treatment. So his team really needs to play defensive. I like the quick forge from Mido to try and stay alive. Drones from Yura is 100% correct. I just wish he didn't lose those links for free, because she's gonna need to make a lot of sunkens, right? So she needs to be droning and making sunkens and try to stay alive. There's a lot on Weija this game. It's just part of the responsibility of being Terran. You have to stay alive and then have a big impact mid-game pretty much by yourself with your team playing defensive, right? I mean, all 3 of them have to just try to stay alive, but the other 2 are staying alive until Weija makes something happen. That's the hard part. And you're probably just gonna die. Although if he plans on double blocking, that's actually a lot of investment. Hopefully Pikachu doesn't plan on doing that, because that's not really necessary. And yeah, Yura at least does understand her job this game. It's just fill your base with defense and don't die. That's the best you can do as Zerg right now. It's ugly. It sucks. She's gonna have to make a ton of sunkens and spores. She's gonna be broke. Her base is gonna be ugly. But it's just all she can do. It is a pretty good setup. I like the sunken that she tucks behind when she's doing this. Weija's factory, okay, is in the top left. Kind of an interesting spot. He wanted to make sure it didn't get denied. He is playing like very, he's very vulnerable the way he's playing right now. And this is interesting. They're going to come in here with this Ling, and they're not going to spot the factory. And I wonder if that makes them think they've got a lot more time than they do. Now she's getting cannon in as well, so she doesn't need to make too many more sunkens right now. These are probably just going to be spores for the Muta. And there we go. The Ling does find the factory in the top left here. Unfortunately for Weija, while this is an interesting play, looks like he's going to get punished for it. So his tank's going to be delayed. Even more. Siege mode gets killed. We're going to have to cancel the tank and lift off the factory and move it now. And then restart siege mode. So, yeah. This bit of cheekiness not going to pay off. It's going to come back to hurt us a little bit. So it's going to be a very long time before he's able to break out. Going to be double Stargate Corsair from Mido. I think this is good. It's just a blue team getting map control and then red team playing very defensive. Which, again, this is kind of what they have to do. I mean, they can't really contest early. They're just waiting on Weija, essentially. And unfortunately for them, Weija's tank is very late. Interesting turrets here. I guess he's worried about Mito's being annoying. Big supply block for Weija. I'm curious what yours plan is. Okay, it might just be really late Mita. I'm gonna say late. It's not really her fault in this game state, but just wondering if she would go Hydra or not. CS Corsair. We do have a lot of Corsair. We're up to 8. Getting into our Robo support bay now, so we're gonna go into Reavers. Double Robo. Sorry, I know I'm, it's like I'm drunk. I know I'm slurring my speech and stuff. When I'm tired, like when I get really sleepy, it's like I'm drunk. I don't know, I think the game state's actually not that bad. We don't have armor yet for these air units either for duo. So these 8+1 Corsair are gonna chew through these like nothing. Scourge unable to connect with the Corsair. And Pikachu loves his cannons. He's he's got an obsession. And this is where it starts getting really scary now. Our team's balanced? Yeah, they're relatively balanced. It's crazy. I mean, Blue's had map control, and it like looks like that on the minimap, that they look like they're in control, but Red team is starting to get into a very strong position. These mutas can't do anything. Weija's coming out. We'll see how good the storms can be. But I mean, Terran This is where Terran starts getting really scary. Killing the gateway here, so it looks like they might be looking for kind of a desperation attack onto Europe, but she has about 14,000 sunken, so she might be able to hold here. In fact, she'll definitely be able to hold here. Looks like they are going to go for it because they feel like they've got to make something happen. Even a Reaver going to come down to try and help. And yeah, Yur's going to be completely fine. This first Scarab going to do more damage to Yur than to the enemies. But the Hydra's going to have to back up. And they only got past that first layer of Sunkens really. There was still plenty more behind that as well. And Wasia creeping forward as Terran, Terran does with bunkers. The bunker tank push, I've done it thousands of times. Terran just starts kind of leaking out of its base and taking the map back bit by bit. And we still have no armor on our air units as duo. This is a huge mistake against all these Corsair. You can actually fight Corsair with Mutascourge, you just have to get the armor. But he opted into going Hydras, which, you know, there's Reavers and a bunch of tanks out in bunkers and stuff. The Hydra's not going to be able to get anything done. You already had a player on Hydra as well. I understand why he feels like he has to do it, but there is a way to fight Corsair with air. But not many people are aware of it or know how to do it, so I can't blame Duo for it. These Corsairs is wreaking havoc as they do against Double Zerg. And yeah, we'll get some storms off, we'll kill a couple tanks, we'll push it back, but you're just slowing them down, right? But what are we buying time for? That's the question at the end of the day. Are we buying time for anything important that's getting us closer to a win? I mean, your Zergs are pretty weak right now. This might be a drop he dropped earlier, too. Well, I think it's fine. I think Red Team was winning this game anyway. It's a bit unfortunate that we don't get to see it play out, but I think calling it for Red Team here is acceptable. So it's going to come down to game 5 for all the marbles. Oh boy, turn rate 10. Thank God we're not playing, huh? How you doing, SK? It'd be fun for us. Just Jeremy wine. Yeah, there would be a lot of that. I got a good video of the two of us in a game coming out on the 24th. So, Sunday morning. How am I doing? I'm doing okay. Just very, very tired, very sleep deprived. The animals have been torturing me, but it's okay. Just gotta keep pushing through it. Maybe after a week or two, we're gonna make some changes so I can be free of the cats in my house. Yo, what's up, Dustin? Yeah, I can't have anything like on my head or in my ears. I've tried so many different things, and it's just, it's so, yeah, it just messes with me. I can't sleep with it. I think one thing I'd considered trying was one of those like white noise machines, or whatever they call it, brown noise, whatever it is, for like raining or something, you know, something loud like that. I think that actually might would help me. Torture, that's the job of a cat. All right. How you doing tonight, Dustin? Rainy day tomorrow as we talk about rain. Thanks for the follow, I appreciate it. Guess we'll have to resort to tranquilizers. Right. I think we're waiting on a Pikachu to reconnect again. All I need is Donkey Kong Country's water level music playing. It's so good though, right? God, I miss old school gaming music. The good old days. I actually unironically, like sometime in the last like month or two, had thoughts of playing that game again, like Donkey Kong Country 2. It's such a good game, actually. I normally don't do platformers, but that game's so good. Yeah, it's really good. It's very relaxing. All right, ladies and gentlemen, coming down to game 5 in this best of 5. Gonna be finishing on turn rate 10, extra high. Truly torturous for our players, surely. And the question is, what races did our random players get? Weija with Zerg, Geiger with Zerg. Interesting. This feels red team favored, but the spawns are pretty good for blue team overall. Actually, the spawns for blue team are amazing. Even though it's a mirror, I feel like Weija's pretty much a Zerg main at this point. And Geiger's Zerg, unfortunately, probably is worse by a lot. So it's a mirror that I think red team is favored, but it's canceled out a little bit by the spawn locations. Will that be enough to make the difference? We're going to find out this game. And that is the joy of BGH, is the randomness, right? And typically, you know, to say that you're the better player, the better team, it's can you get those wins from positions where you're not favored, right? Or you get a little bit of the bad luck, or you get some really bad luck. Are you able to pull off those miracle wins where you're not supposed to win, right? That's the beauty of BGH. That's the skill expression in BGH. Is, hey, you're in a setup where you're unfavored. Are you able to make something happen? That's what I love about BGH. Is when I'm on a team or something where my team's not expected to win, and then it's like, can I work some of my magic, you know, to win games that we're not supposed to win? It's actually going to be goons from Geiger. Or, sorry, not Geiger, from Pikachu. He's going to be very disappointed. Actually, no, they already know. He already knows this 2 Zerg. This is a game where going goons with 2 Zerg was not good. I'm starting to get very worried for my teammates now. There we go. All the Lings going to be coming out. They're going to be flashing around the middle. But I'm going to be honest with you. The Goon Tech... Okay, the Goon Tech was abandoned. I think that is the right call. He did mine more gas than I feel like he should have. Because I wasn't paying attention, but I'm pretty sure this is Wage up here, right? Yeah, so he scouted Wage relatively early. Good initial fight here for blue, though. The Lings from, who is this? You're a little bit late to the party, so we got a decent trade. Now the question is, how many Lings do we get back out with? A little bit of a miss rally here from Duo, actually. Going to take a bunch of free damage onto these Lings. And it's going to be that 3-gate now from Pikachu. I think this is a good adjustment, but it does mean that he's just going to be behind Mido pretty much for the entire early game here. Doe doing a pretty good job of intercepting Gear to make sure she can't get in here. She did go for that sunken, which is a little bit of a mistake. You don't need to go for the sunken. Actually, both red team Zergs went for a sunken. This is a mistake. In a mirror matchup, you do not want to be doing defensive, Is it lagging on Twitch? Oh, you're just talking about the lag in game. Yeah, okay. Scared me. But yeah, in a mirror matchup, you can't go defensive structures. This actually hurts you quite a bit. You see how much later these extra hatcheries are going to be for the red team? And that makes a big difference when you don't have those initial lings. Now, we do get a good trade here for Weija actually going to be getting a lot of the units here. So good catch by Weija, reducing that ling count. And you see this huge difference in Zealots right now between the Protoss players. And Ling's even going to get in here too, 3 o'clock, and kill some probes. This is going to be pretty painful here. You can't really be losing probes in a mirror matchup like this either when you're already behind on the Zealot count. Is going to at least trade off for all these Lings, which is good. Actually, really good trade onto the Lings in general. So losing a few probes, not that bad, but we cannot bleed off any Zealots. This is really, really important. Going to get one Zealot trapped here. And more counters here from Yura being super annoying. This is very Shanji style, right? To be running a few Lings in constantly. Dying for some drones. Does get one drone. Maybe going to get a second drone. That is a lot of damage actually onto Duo now. Down to just 6 drones. Luckily for him, Red Team has made 2 Sunkens now, so they're not even ahead in eco after doing this damage. This is a really, really big mistake by the Red Team, building these Sunkens. And even though the Zealot count does have the lead, we have a big Ling advantage now because of all the Lings we've been throwing into eco. Can they win the fight with all these Zealots from Pikachu? It looks like Pikachu actually going to hold on well enough that the Lings showing up are going to be able to turn the fight in his favor. So great macro. Oh, sorry, I keep saying Pikachu. I mean Mido. Mido, great macro for Mido. Going to win that fight for his team. He is pulling the weight right now that he needs to because his Zerg teammates are definitely behind with these extra Sunkens. And I wouldn't mind seeing Duo add a couple drones, especially if another one goes down. But oh, just barely with 1 HP, gonna keep that alive. Yeah, I'd like to see him add like 2 more drones, but he actually goes back into gas. I don't like that. Because we're going up to 3 hatch, so we can't really go gas right now. And I think Mido's macro just is going to be enough to win this game despite his Zerg teammates being behind. We'll see the Zealots from Pikachu going to be a little bit late getting here. We did start a creep colony now. Canceled our 3rd hatchery, which I think is the right call because we just don't have the drone counts to support 3 hatch right now. And we're going to be taking potentially more damage here, so going to lose at least 1 drone. 2 drones go down. You know, the extra Lings do come in. The Zealot's going to be behind this. He is going to survive, but this is pretty good damage. We're down to 4 drones, 5 drones right now. Looks like Yer managed to sneak in a couple drones as well. So yeah, we need to get some drones made here for Duo. He needs to add about 4 or 5 drones. If he wants to go 2 hatch into lair, I think that's pretty good in this game state. Your other Zerg is on 3 hatch right now. I mean, Red's being very annoying, constantly running in to try and get some probe damage. Or worker damage. But it does mean they're losing the units, right? That's kind of the thing. Does get 1 drone there for all these Lings, but you just got to be careful trading army for eco too much. It's been working out because Mido's been out macroing so much against Pikachu, but you know, he can't do that forever if your Zergs aren't trading very well. Another huge fight breaking out here. Red's going to win the Ling fight here on the left. Pikachu going to get, Mido going to get pushed back, but he has a cannon back at home, so he's going to be able to defend these Lings pretty early, or pretty easily, so these Lings going to turn back around and get intercepted. And I mean, Blue's done a decent job of kind of stabilizing a bit, and it's been working out that way because of, you know, the extra Sunkens and stuff from the red team. Finally, it looks like we added a drone or 2 here for, this is Geiger, right? Yeah, for Geiger. I think that's always got to be done. You want to go up to like 8 or 9 drones when you're on 3 hatch, or you're just not going to be able to continue Lings for very long off of a 9 pool. We go, Zealot's going to try and fight here. Going to get semi-surrounded by the Lings, but the Lings going to support him. And Blue team going to win this fight against these Zealots here. And we're starting to see it in the supply. Blue, Pikachu, finally taking Mido over in supply. And Blue is starting to claw their way back into this game right now, despite how favored it was early for Red. I hate to harp on it too much, but I really think these double Sunkens in a mirror matchup is a huge, huge mistake. And Pikachu gonna start going to his specialty, which is making cannons. That's what this man loves to do. Gotta be careful though. Looks like we might be working towards a DT drop. DT drops could be super strong here. Once they get the cannons up, they're going to try and kill one of the players. And it looks like none of the Zergs going into lair tech. Which also very surprising. Another drone goes down for a bunch of our lings, but it's interesting because, I mean, we send the lings in, we kill a drone, and then we have to make a sunken because our army is getting smaller and smaller, right? And here we go. I think we're going to get a DT drop, and there is a good chance that Pikachu dies to this. We actually have Geiger sitting an Overlord over to Pikachu, which is perfect. And it looks like they're going to go after Weijia here. Weijia, just with the 2 Sunkens, does have good positioning on his defensive structures, but it's going to be a lot of units barreling down on him. I don't think there's a way for him to hold this, and he's really not going to be getting any help from his team either. Yeah, it's just too much, right? Like, there's no way. Gonna trade as best he can, but really not even gonna be able to kill very many units. There's a lot of Zealots mixing here. So Weijia gonna go down. Here comes the first drop. It's gonna be Zealots initially to clear the cannons, and we're probably gonna come back and grab these DT. But there is an Overlord here, so the strategy not gonna pay off. I like the idea. Makes a lot of sense. But it just doesn't work with the Overlord here. Now we see Weijia goes down. And yeah, we're just not even going to send the DTs in because he sees that it just doesn't work. So we're going to go for the Zerg instead. There is actually no Overlords here in Duo's base at the moment. The closest Overlord is here. Does he notice quickly? That's him queuing up an Overlord right there. Mido needs to go, though. The longer he takes... Yeah, we're not paying attention, not sending our units in. Going for the second hatchery, too, instead of the main hatchery first. Actually, it's just all over the place. Gonna start focusing these drones down at least. The Overlord almost here. Overlord gonna hatch now too. And I think this was kind of a missed opportunity for Mido to kill Duo there. Yo, Original T. Wait, was it gifted? Oh, the sub on YouTube. Okay, thanks for the sub on YouTube. I appreciate it, man. Alright, blue team shifting their attention to the other Zerg. You're doing as best you can. Hold on, she had a fair amount of Sunkens, a decent SimCity, but again, it's just not enough. Looks like Mido is going to get the kill on Duo. But both of his teammates have gone down. Can he work some serious magic? I think it's not going to be possible. As Archon going to do about as much as you could hope for here with this DT. Almost winning the fight even here. That DT, 13 kills. The Archon, I don't know, 600 kills, whatever it was. Now we got Reavers here at 3 o'clock doing damage. It's a good effort. But is it going to be enough? Got our round of drones finishing up here. Pretty good micro too with the Reaver shuttle. Looks like we stopped building Scarabs though, unfortunately. Yo, Dustin, thanks for the $10, man. I appreciate it. Top Shagger, Mick Jagger. Birds drawn to my rockstar slagger. Broads begging me to clap their cheeks when I'm a walk on by because I'm way too dapper. Is that what this is rap? Look, I'm not too familiar with rap anything. Poetry. Yeah, poetry. Alright, looks like blue team got into a good enough defensive position. I mean, Duo took a lot of damage. Looks like Pikachu took a little bit of damage, but his probe count still looks pretty healthy. We've got our cannons up and everything. And it's just another impossible situation, impossible looking situation for Mido here. Gonna try and shuttle an army over, but yeah, blue team in a pretty good position to block this, and you know, we're even blocked at the front with cannons right now. So we're gonna try one little bust here through the front. Obscure rap by two 7-year-old UK rappers. Okay. Well, then I definitely wasn't gonna know it. Alright, we're gonna go for this bust in middle. It's gonna get shut down. We're gonna see the GG after. Pretty well played by blue team. Pretty close series. It really came down to the last little bit here. I was genuinely worried. I mean, this last game even looked really bad for blue. Geiger got, you know, his worst race. Waja got a race he's good with. And Pikachu, unfortunately, just had kind of a tough luck with his opener. Not expecting 2 Zerg, so yeah, it looked really bad for him. But they managed to claw it back and win this game and take the series, so congratulations to them. Now it's just a matter of dotting your I's and crossing your T's. Can't blame Mido for trying. It's the last game of the match, or of the night, so respect the effort. Shuttle gonna show up. Unfortunately, instantly loses it. But we're not gonna call GG regardless. We're gonna keep trying. There we go. GG. Team Geiger. Duo Pikachu gonna take this series 3-2. What a nail biter, huh? Alright, guys. I literally have been trying to cast with my eyes closed half the game. I'm slurring my speech. I'm stuttering like crazy. I think it's time for me to go to bed. Say hi to the cats, yeah. We'll see how long they stay quiet tonight. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I am sorry for the lag and stuff. It's just it rained today, so whenever it rains, my Twitch doesn't work. YouTube works fine, Twitch doesn't work. I don't know what to say. Makes no sense to me. But thanks for the support, guys. Thanks for the donations, the subs, the follows. Actually helps a lot. Like a lot. So, yeah, I appreciate you guys. Yep. I have my 2v2 with Bebe tomorrow. So I'll be streaming my 2v2 with her. It's going to be at 6 p.m. Central, so 7 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, we're going to do our 2v2 match. It's going to be a best of 5. And then I'll probably just keep playing after that. And then Bebe has her 3v3 match at 10, so I'll stream and cast that one. So that's the plan for tomorrow. Don't know if I'll do anything else during the day. We'll see. But GG's. Thanks for watching.